Alright, Happy New Year!
What?
I'm not liking the hair. Hold on. Alright, Happy New Year! It still looks weird. You know what? Screw it. I now look like a trucker, but Happy New Year! Alright, now let's get into today's intro topic. Today's intro topic of the day is... drumroll, please. Video game movies. Now, I know you read the title and it's like, oh, Animal Crossing, but no, I got clickbaited into something about video game movies. But trust me, it all ties in at the end. I just gotta get through this first. Most of the time when you hear the term video game movies, it usually brings back pretty bad memories. But the question is, why?
I watch Rick and Morty.
The typical norm for video game movies is that they're just known to be bad, with maybe a few exceptions. I think we're all adults here. I think we can all agree that that was a good movie. One of the other problems with video game movies is, well, like other forms of media that have been turned into movies, the original is just always better most of the time. And most video game movies are also cash grabs because apparently people loved Sonic in the 90s, so they'd love to see a movie of him in the 2000s. And you know what? Throw Jim Carrey in there. They're gonna love him. That's a great idea since Sonic is currently a dying franchise and we need money. The main problem with these movies is that you're not actually interacting with the movie. See, with most video games, you're either controlling the character or the story of the game, which oftentimes gives the game's writer a lot more flexibility when writing the story. Or in some games, like open world games, you can traverse the world and find logs or little snippets that expand on the story but aren't entirely necessary. With a movie, you're only watching basically a 2-hour cutscene that only has one fixed storyline that you can't control or alter or interact with in any way. Which, by the way, I have no issue with. I love watching movies. Now, of course, you can expand and theorize stuff about this movie, because if you couldn't, then channels like the Film Theorists wouldn't even exist. And there's nothing wrong with a movie having a storyline you can't control, because if it's a good storyline, you want to know what happens in that storyline. But what is an issue is when you decide to slap video game characters and a video game story into a movie that does have a fixed storyline. Now, let me ask you something. When you play Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for the Genesis, do you play it for the storyline, or do you play it for the gameplay? Now, unless you're a psychopath, you would say the latter, because no one plays Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for the story. You play Sonic to go fast. So slapping Sonic into a city with some other weird character and having Jim Carrey as Eggman is not gonna make a great movie because it's a very questionable and weird storyline. You can't control Sonic going super fast in the movie. You can only see him going super fast. No one wants to do that. I want to make him go fast. So yes, while I have been critiquing these films for basically the entire video now, I do have a large fondness for Animal Crossing, so disclaimer, I will be biased in this video. That being said, this movie was an acid trip. Going into it, I had no idea what to expect, because if you know Animal Crossing, you know that there is not a defined plot, and there is no endings to the game. Maybe Happy Home Designer, but that doesn't really count since it's a spin-off, so go away. Basically, for those uncultured enough that don't know what Animal Crossing is, basically, you move into a town or island with these villagers, and basically live out a virtual fantasy where you live on a deserted town where the entire human race has been died and decapitated and has now been taken over by furries. In that virtual fantasy, the entire economy is based on selling bugs, fish, fossils, and furniture, which you can then use to buy furniture, cool house, or cool island, or pay off a debt. Doesn't sound very fun, but trust me, a lot of people would like to disagree, including me. Yeah, it's a little hard to expect a movie out of this, but it does give the writers a lot of flexibility for the storyline, and it's basically a life or death scenario. Either the movie can be good, or the movie can be bad. There is no in between. Well, I'm just gonna go over here, watch the movie, and then tell you my thoughts on it. So, let's go!
pussy.
Holy shit! How? You look 7. How are you that self-reliant? I mean, yes, I know kids in Japan usually get trained to be more self-reliant when they're younger, but like she's moving out of her house. She's moving into this nice-ass vacation home. She looks 7. Future Hayden here. I realized that she is not 7. She's 11, which doesn't make anything any better. So yes, this is an anime. Shocker. Got me, weed police. Arrest me, daddy. After being shown that this 7, actually 11-year-old is able to live by herself, own this big-ass vacation home, and lift a big-ass suitcase from this turtle who looks like he's very strong and capable. She then goes into the town hall to fill her little paperwork and then find out that the mayor, Tortimer, is a narcissistic asshole. Then she gets out into the real world and has to face the hardships that we all do. She has to get a job and make money. What? You have to make money in order to live? What? I never knew that. She goes to Nook's Cranny, which is the local shop, and goes to good old Tom Nook. We love Tom, don't we? We love Tom. To deliver some package to villagers where we're able to actually find out who lives here. Why? Out of everyone. Why Rosie? Why? Why Rosie? Why? Why Rosie? This guy right here. I don't know why this guy's in this movie. The only times we ever see him, he's just fishing. That's all he ever does. That's all he's good for. I mean, good for him. He's fishing. You know what? Good for the guy. There's nothing wrong with fishing. I will never fish in real life. This guy can fish all he wants. But why is he taking up screen time in this movie if all he's doing is fishing? Literally, there is no plot. We don't know his name. We don't know his backstory. We don't know his character. Okay, fine. We know his backstory. He loves fishing. I can kind of imagine him to be like a boomer that's like, these damn kids, they keep coming down my lawn, and all I want to do is just fish on my river, on my lake. Wikipedia says that he's from another village, but I don't know. Maybe this guy has a bigger backstory that I don't care about. After good old Rosie, we finally meet Alberto, the amazing, lazy, fat-ass dinosaur who ordered like 500 freaking pies.
Thank you for leaving your order of 500 pies at 500 pies?
He's apparently friends with this dude, who's from another village and loves to torment people and catch bugs. But he looks at Ai for 1 second, and then Ai just instantly gets turned on, and now there's sexual tension. So now, the total opposite of Rosie, we get bad bitch Whitney right here. Mwah.
Free for you.
Thank you. May I please ask you to leave the package inside?
Okay.
Whitney comes to us and says,
Well, delivery duty may not be classy work, but real ladies also know how to work hard, don't you agree?
then winks to Ai, showing that she obviously has sexual interest. Oh, did I remind you? She recently broke up with Apollo, who we'll get to later. After bad bitch Whitney, Ai then goes to the Able sisters, and I have a little bit of a problem with this scene. Now let me get this straight. I have no problem with this scene. I have a problem with the English fandub, which you are listening to right now. I'm not listening to the original because I can't fucking understand Japanese. Anyways, listen to the sound of Mabel. Now listen to how she sounds in the Japanese version. Now, you're probably expecting her to sound a little bit like that. Kind of have like a solid, kind of like girly voice a little bit. Not fucking Australian.
Hello there.
By the way, I have no problems with Australians. I kind of being really racist. No problems with Australians at all. Just a problem with this scene and the continuity of this movie. And Sable isn't any better.
Welcome.
I can't stand this. Anyways, we meet good old Margie, who happens to love designing clothes, which obviously catches the attention of Sable and Mabel. Ai then becomes awkward as she's now the third wheel and leaves. Ai then leaves to go to her big-ass vacation house, and uh-oh! A bug is now on her face, and uh-oh! This guy is appearing to save her. Yeah, so this guy right here, mwah, I hate him. We learn his name is Yu. Now, sadly, it's not this Yu. But, that's all we really know. Oh God. Oof. What time is it? Oh, it's the morning. Even though it looks like it has. Nope, it's the morning. Nope. I love this script. God, I'm such a good script writer. Good morning, everyone. It's now the next day, and guess what I is doing? She's around town delivering packages to everyone. Oh, but of course, there has to be trouble. I is delivering a package to a very special someone. My main man, Apollo.
I cash in my hair to my ass. Do the dash, can you make it go fast?
Just love that fan cam. But of course, something has to go wrong, so of course we gotta throw this guy in here. And he makes I ruin Apollo's flower garden, which also happens to be blue fucking roses. You know how hard that is to get repaired? Those take a long time to grow, okay? Oh, I snapped the hat. You know what? We can do without it. Anyways, you know the speech I just gave about flowers? Yeah, we meet Rossetti, because he gives the same exact speech too. Then tells her that Apollo's gonna be pissed and mad, yada yada yada, and then to go to the museum, because that's where the roost is. She then goes to the museum and gets scared because all the big fossils and all the big dinosaurs. So then she's obviously screaming, and then Blathers and Celeste come in and save her, and then Blathers is being annoying, blah blah blah. After Celeste and I escape Blathers talking about who knows what, she tells her where the roost is, and she goes downstairs to ask around where Apollo is. But then, oh shit, Apollo's back, and he's big and bad and mad. Then in a deep voice, he's like, "Someone messed up my garden today."
Someone made a mess in my garden. I had finally gotten my blue roses to bloom.
And then I goes back, it's like, "Oh, Mr. Apollo, I'm so sorry. I'm the one that did it. And then he doesn't care and leaves. Just the bad bitch he is. Mwah, I love Apollo. Newsflash, I like Apollo just because he was one of the first villagers I got in Animal Crossing New Leaf. Interesting tidbit for you. So then it's close to the end of the day, and I has only a couple packages left to deliver. So then Margie comes over and is like, "Here, I'll help you." And I's like, "No, I don't want help. I can do this all on my own." And Margie's like, "Nope, I'm still helping you anyways." And then they bond. They also find a cherry tree, which you can supposedly only find in this village. Like, that makes me think, is this the only place where cherries are made in this world? Anyways, they start randomly talking about cherry pie and shit. And don't worry, this will get brought up several more times into this movie. Margie also likes to brag about how many talents she has, and then make I feel like she's talentless. When I gets home, she then starts to write to her mom about how she now has a new best friend after like 5 minutes, and how she now wants her to send her cherry pie recipes so that they can make cherry pie later.
A message in a bottle?
I then gets a weird message saying that a miracle will occur in like 7 months and that she's about to see a UFO. Silly girl, UFOs don't exist. Put one of these on her. That fits. Oh, my hat fell. Oh, good night. Alright, rise and shine, everyone. Put on your bikinis and Speedos because it's beach day in Animal Village. And what does I happen to be doing? Nothing, because she's dependent on Margie, and Margie is doing shit. Nope, Margie is doing something. She's just writing in her fashion notebook. And then Rosie's like, "Why aren't we swimming? You've just been writing in that damn notebook for this entire time." And Margie's like,
Miss Mabel said she would pick my best drawings and help me find a store that would carry my designs. So I have to try hard.
"Oh yeah, remember this dynamic duo? Everyone's favorite couple. I ship them." Yeah, after the whole bug hunt thing, they decided to look for fossils in the dumbest way possible. They just kept digging holes. I mean, look, there's an X right here. Right there. But of course, it causes Rossetti to get mad at them because he's digging out all the holes they used, yada 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 yada. Then I and Rosie brag about wearing Margie's clothes to the next KK Slider concert. Then I gets another message in a bottle. This one says to plant a bunch of pine trees. I then complains about it because remember, she's 11, and you know what little kids hate? Work.
Dude, get off of me!
Now in the town square, Pelly is talking about how there's going to be a fireworks show tonight, and that KK Slider is going, and you know what the girls do? Fangirl of him, like KK Slider is just one-man boy band BTS K-pop star shit. After the girls are done fangirling over Animal Crossing Jimin, they complain that the boys are celebrating over nothing. And I'd absolutely agree because I find that exact fossil all the freaking time. Rosie's then like, hey guys, I know a little place that we can find fossils, and then use like sexually harassing her to go to the fossil place, cave thing. So guess where they end up going? Wait, we gotta go to Tortimer because he's worried he's gonna flop in the elections. So he's standing on the lake and is about to kill himself. So that's great. Nah, he's not, sadly. Nah, I'm just kidding. Tortimer talks to this guy who is like independent. It's not on a political party. And he tells Tortimer, man, it's not all about the politics. Just worry about being cool and fresh, like me. And then vanishes in thin air. Kinda random scene, but whatever. Meanwhile, with the others, Yu somehow has time to change into a completely different outfit, and eventually they all find a big old pile of fossils. But then I, being the main character she is like, no, I find bigger pair of fossils. This is a big fossil, a rare fossil. Yu then tries to grab a dinosaur, destroys the entire cave, and almost endangers everyone. Oh, you still want a video? Oh, well, it's no longer 10 o'clock at night, so I can now get back to filming. Anyways, it is now time for question of the day, which is, what day is it today? Let's see. What day is it today?
It's Monday, January 24th, 2022.
Wrong! It's the day of the fireworks festival. And obviously, Rosie is freaking out about Animal Crossing Jimin. Then KK Slider shows up with a very questionable voice.
Hey guys, groupie night for a gig, you dig?
And he's asking for song requests. So obviously Margie's like, oh!
Play KK Balsa, please!
Cool.
So what does he end up playing? Fucking KK Bosa. Jesus Christ. Oh. It actually happens to be a pretty good cover. If you want to listen to the full thing, links in the description. Though I have to say, when me and my girlfriend first watched this movie, we couldn't get over this part. Well. We then see a montage of Margie and I talking how Margie really wants to become a fashion designer and makes I feel like shit.
I hope one day people all over the world will be able to wear a Margie original creation. I believe thinking about these strange things is also a talent.
Fuck you!
Oh, and also the whole cherry pie thing, and that how I needs to harness her talents and use them like cherry pie, because if she doesn't use her talents, then they'll get wasted, just like cherry pie. God, I fucking hate these cherry pie references. God. Now, after the KK Slider concert, we actually get the meat of the festival, which is fireworks, and I love Whitney. Now, Margie is bragging about how KK Slider listened to her.
I'm a little embarrassed. KK Basa. It was like I was alone, and he was singing just to me.
If you want a comparison of this, just imagine a 13-year-old just talked to Jake Paul, and Jake Paul just like, hi, and the 13-year-old girl was like, oh my god, Jake Paul just talked to me, ah! Then Rosie joins the fangirling of Margie and just leaves I confused and jealous, because she wants some of the fun too, and she doesn't know what they're talking about, because again, she's only 11. And then references the frickin' cherry pie thing again. God! Oh, and also, Team Tortimer. Vote for Tortimer. Because I was being depressed and Margie was being a little bit of a bitch, she wrote to her mom and said, Dear Mom, I hate myself. I suck. Margie thinks she's so much better than me. I'll show her. Then she gathers 4 bottles of power and combines them together to remove Margie from existence and make her the better one. Well, that's not actually what happens, sadly. She actually writes to her mom about how she really wants to find her cherry pie and she thinks she knows it now. Stops writing, gets the 4 bottles she found, and now apparently that's her talent. That can be anyone's talent, stupid! Oh, well, good Good morning. It's been next day. Oh, and guess what? You know how you start an amazing day? You have a purple cat yell at you. Because Rosie is now pissed off that I didn't know about Margie moving. Oh, wait, did I say Margie was moving? Ha! She moved! Got him! Obviously, I is upset and depressed because her best friend left. So then, the best place for her to cry is obviously the roost, so that's Brewster's problem, I guess. Then KK Bosa starts playing, and both Whitney and Brewster are looking at her like, why is an 11-year-old in my house crying and not paying me for coffee? And also, here's a film theory. Are Whitney and Brewster together? Just something to think about. I got you, Matt Pat. When I eventually starts crying, Whitney, being the badass she is, goes up to I and she's like, stop being a little bitch. Get up. Don't stop crying. No real lady cries. God, fucking loser. Then Whitney's like, you need to believe in yourself. Blah, blah, blah. I's like, yes, I do. And then gains confidence and gets out feeling better than ever. Then Whitney is like, a bond between women will never end, but a bond between a man and woman, fuck men. Anyways, while I is walking home, she meets this big fat ass named Wendell. And he's kind of cute. He's a big old walrus. Mwah. A little chubby dude. All he wants is food. And he's what I like to call, what foreigners like to think, is the typical American. He then has like the most confusing dialogue. He says, when he's depressed, he eats, and when he eats, he's depressed. So the solution for I's depression is to eat because she's depressed. But if she eats when she's depressed, doesn't that mean that she'll become depressed when she eats? The ultimate catch-22 situation. Like, you can't not be depressed and eat. You can only eat and be depressed. What? Anyways, he then forces I to eat because, you know, she's depressed. God, this makes no sense. And wouldn't you know it, I just got a letter from, guess who? Margie. And guess what? Wendell had the same exact reaction I did, because guess what he did? He left. I doesn't care and decides to read the message anyways. Margie then tells I that she was too much of a pussy to tell her that she was leaving because she was like, oh, I didn't want to hurt your feelings or anything. Then makes another fucking cherry pie reference. She then decides to go outside and scream into the ocean, I'm gonna be the very best, Margie. And then she doesn't realize that Margie can't freaking hear her. That's right, Rosie. Yes! I have to do the hat. I have to do the hat. I have to do the hat. Rosie apologizes for no reason. They both look into the ocean. And, oh, movie over. Yay. Thank God. Yay. I want to thank our sponsor, NordVPN. What do you mean that's not the end of the video?
I don't know. Are you stupid?
I can't put NordVPN in the video because we're not sponsored by NordVPN because I only have 130 subscribers.
I want to kill myself.
Ah, God damn it. Ah, guess what? It's now wintertime. Yes, there's still more to this movie. Whole 27 minutes, actually, so we gotta bear through this together. And then, the best part of the movie, I've been waiting for this entire scene. Rosie jumps off her house and kills herself because she hates living with herself. Of course, that's not real either. I guess it's just my fantasy again. We also learned that I is now obsessed with aliens and UFOs and shit, and oh, and this.
I'll be eating my cherry pie today for sure! Cherry pies again?
More cherry pie references. And it's finally time for the ballots to be collected. This is your daily reminder of this video to vote for Tortimer. I know I still complain about this man because I still don't get this man's existence. I just love this. Anyways, after staring at the trees for like 30 minutes, the trees finally come on, and it actually looks really pretty. It's time for the Winter Festival, everyone! And everyone is obsessed with lights because, again, they are very pretty. I and Celeste then get together and watch the sky because, remember, all of this is about aliens. That's the entire point of this movie, is just aliens and UFOs and shit. I then start to doubt herself and believe that aliens don't exist because she's actually becoming insane for once. But then Celeste is like, No, you need to believe that aliens exist. Aliens are real. Don't doubt yourself. It's Christmas. Except in Animal Village, they're not Christian, so they call it the Winter Festival. And wouldn't you believe it? It's a real UFO. A UFO? Whoa, man. Did you say a UFO? I'm sorry. Did you say a UFO? Yeah, I mean a real life UFO. Whoa. It eventually crashes and everyone gathers around it. And they're all like too scared to approach it because it's like an alien life form. Just in case, like a reasonable man he is, you reminds her that I's probably gonna get probed or shot or something. Hey, I know you. That's not an alien, that's just Gulliver. What are you doing in a UFO? And why don't you have an inhaler? So, like the usual, Gulliver crashed and lost all of its parts. So, of course, it's up to everyone to get everything back and help Gulliver get back up. Each group goes to different locations to find more UFO parts. Yu swears that he saw a part fall into the cave, so that group just goes to the cave. Of course, because they're not strong, they can't push the boulder that blocks the cave. So, they give up and the movie's over, right? Yep, right. Why? Well, yeah, Margie came back and found I because no one can shut up about the damn UFO. Yu then has a main character moment that he has to find the alien part so that he can save a man and, like, save the world and shit. So, in doing that, he almost dies. Twice. Never mind, both Alfonso and Yu die. But hey, at least the UFO part is safe, right? Never mind, no one dies in this movie. Spoiler alert. However, yes, the part is safe. And whoa there! Damn, it's getting a little hot in here, man. And apparently, everyone else had the same reaction I just had. As I run back to Gulliver, they give him the part back. But wait! Controversy! There's actually two of the same part. So, you might be asking, where does the other part go? Ah, fuck! There's actually aliens in this movie? What the The part is alive? That's an alien? Yes, plot twist. The aliens came to rescue their son, who happened to be disguised as a fucking gear. The ship heals them, then they return to the ship. Oh, and this little acid trip happens.
All healed now?
The aliens then go away, and then Apollo's like, damn, babe, that was awesome. Which startles I because she still thinks that Apollo hates her, which he's then like,
My bad.
and then shocker, I's then appointed the winner of the Winter Festival. And now, for the most important part of the movie, the elections. Make sure you've casted your vote, and make sure you have voted for Tortimer. I'm a businessman because I'm wearing the same clothes, and I just tallied up the electoral college. Apparently, one vote to Tortimer, and it was Tortimer himself. So the winner is Tortimer. Wait, isn't that election fraud? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. The former U.S. president would probably get very pissed by this, but who cares? The movie's over. Thank God. Finally, okay, we're done. We're done watching the movie. Also, I got a haircut. You like it? So, after that weird-ass movie, how do I feel about it? Well, I actually really enjoyed it. I feel like it wasn't a cringe fest and wasn't meant to be a cash grab for the Nintendo guys, and was just honestly meant to be a really heartfelt and wholesome movie. It was cute, wholesome, and honestly just really chill, which fits with the theme of Animal Crossing. So I just believe the movie just captured the essence of Animal Crossing. Was it a perfect movie? No, not at all. I won't say it was my favorite movie ever made, but I will say it's probably one of my favorites, and is probably going to be considered a classic to me. I'm probably going to watch it several more times for years to come. I do want to say something, and it's more about the English dubbing, which a lot of you people might want to watch if you do watch this movie. Yes, I did watch it in English because when I tried watching the subtitled version, a lot of stuff just seemed kind of off, and I knew the Animal Crossing characters more from their English names instead of their Japanese names, so it was more fitting for me in general. When I heard there was an English dub, I was really interested and downloaded it and started watching, and I had a few problems with it on it. From a Reddit thread I found this on, apparently it's this dude's first time ever making a fan dub, which kudos to him, congrats. Like, doing this is probably a lot of hard work. But there were a lot of audio quality issues, and I'm guessing that a lot of this wasn't in studio. Like, for example, when there's a conversation between I and Celeste, I sounds really good, while Celeste's voice just sounds like it was recorded off a MacBook microphone. And now, for the actual movie itself, I have to talk about the cherry pie references. This may just be a personal bias or opinion, but I hated them. I did not like these references. Yes, it was really sweet and wholesome, and the metaphor added to the theme of I trying to find her true purpose in life. But anytime it was just brought up, I just thought it was overused. I seriously thought it made every scene worse, and just honestly just ruined that scene in general. I and Margie both said it way too much, and it just... I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe other people found it better. It's just a personal opinion of mine. I did not like that cherry pie reference. Maybe the first time, yeah, but not all these other times. Also, what in the world was the point of Tex being in that movie? I know I complained about this towards the beginning of the movie, but come on, he adds zero value to this movie. All he does is sits and fish and is literally filler for this movie. I said earlier that I found on Wikipedia that said he was basically comic relief. But he's not even comic relief. There's just one part that I found really funny, and everything else was just, it wasn't supposed to be there. Even if you didn't find enjoyment in the movie, you have to admit that it was a really unique film. It makes Animal Crossing a game with no defined storyline, and gives you these characters that live in a town, and you basically see them grow over time and become better people, and you may have like a little bit of a bond with them. It's not a bland, cheesy story. I mean, maybe some parts of it were a little cheesy, but I honestly really liked the story. When I first watched it, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if it would keep the same Animal Crossing charm, or if it would do something like the Sonic movie, which I guess kind of had Sonic charm because the movie kind of sucked. And honestly, a lot of other people think the same thing I do, because when I looked at the Amazon reviews for this movie, I saw several people saying that it captured the essence of Animal Crossing, and that they honestly just loved watching the movie and just thought it was a good movie. A lot of people say that it's a hidden gem, and that's honestly what this movie is. It's a really good animated film, lost in time, lost in the internet, for only Tokyo to see, not for the West, until like 7 years ago. Anyways, I highly recommend that you Google this film and try to watch it for yourself, because I didn't cover everything. I tried covering the major plot points, but there is still a lot more to this movie that just has, it's just a lot more. It was funny, it was cute, and it was just, it's a really good film to watch, and I highly recommend that you take time to watch it. It's an hour and 28 minutes. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. This video has been a couple months in the making, and honestly, it's just really good to actually be able to finish a YouTube video again. While this video doesn't really capture the essence of Wonders of the Internet as I want it to, I promise I'm going to have more videos in this series that capture the essence of Wonders of the Internet more than this video does. And I also want to make other videos as well, such as maybe videos kind of like this, or other commentary videos. So with that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like. If you don't like it, well, no one else will see it. I'll be the only one who sees it, so I guess it'll be a little secret. And please subscribe if you want to see more from me. With that, I hope you stay safe and have fun. Bye-bye.